So I could be accused at certain points of being obsessed with my car, but not in the way that people are usually obsessed with their cars. For example, you know, over here, somebody looks like took a shopping cart and really just ran into that shit. I don't care. I could never care less about that. Never. But after a certain point, driving around on road trips, there comes a time when I become overly identified with the car. And it gets to the point where I am overly critical of other drivers. Like, somebody will get too close behind Bertha in their stupid car, and you know, I will take it personally. You know, why are you so fucking close to Bertha right now? Like, couldn't you back up a little bit? Like, don't these morons know that the closer you get behind another vehicle, if you get rear-ended, well, you know, you're going right into the vehicle in front of you, you know? So it's really fucking moronic to be that close behind somebody else. So eventually, there comes a time when you pretty much have to voluntarily take yourself out of the race. You just have to park it, because you start to get overly identified with your car. And, you know, for me, it's a short drive to Crazy Town anyway, you know? Like, I don't need any extra help getting there. When I start to realize that I'm getting to that point of, like, being, like, overly identified with the car, and I start feeling that way, you know, about other drivers and how they can never do anything right, and how they're just too close. Well, I realize that it's time to stop and just park it. I will go for months sometimes. I think the max was 2 months that I've gone literally without going anywhere. Maybe I might walk to the mailbox or something, but it's like I'm a person of extremes. You know, I'm either out there driving around an incredibly long way away, living in it, or I am parked for an indefinite amount of time. I know when it's time to park it and say, all right, well, someday we will be going somewhere again. But for now, the conditions are not favorable for us to do that. We have to focus on other things. We have to focus on something besides driving around. And, you know, it's hard for me because I'm just not that happy unless I'm driving. The thing is, like, you can't just drive all the time, can you really? You know, it's like I have to program myself to be happy doing something else. You know, machines wear down, and, you know, it's just like you have to protect yourself from the hurt of that, because it's inevitable, you know, it's all an eventuality. But by paying attention to the signs and knowing when to stop going out there and risking everything, you can avoid hardships. The relationship between man and machine is very special, and I do treasure it. But you gotta know when to hold them, gotta know when to fold them. We just have to focus on something besides driving right now. So that's why I'm living in a tent in the backyard.